I'm Phil Garrison with the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, NAACP chapter. Yeah. We're thrilled that everyone is here. This is the first of four breakout sessions that we'll be having. And so when we think of health, we also have to think holistically. When you think about just every aspect of health, financial health is extremely important. And we are thrilled to have with us Miss Janai Thornton. Many of you may have seen her on television. I know that's where I saw her, like Atlanta Good Morning or something like that, the Atlanta Morning Show. She told me she didn't want an introduction. It's B103. But without further ado, I am going to pass out these raffle tickets because at the end we will be having a raffle. But without further ado, I would like to introduce to some and permit to the others, Miss Janai Ford.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. So I know, where is she? When Cheryl came in, she said something about me being on praise. Anybody listen to the Willie Moore Jr.? Willie Moore Jr., or if you get up a little earlier, you can also hear me on Erica Campbell in the mornings too. And a lot of people don't realize, although I do work in media, I'm actually an accountant. I'm a CPA, and I practice exclusively in the entertainment industry. So I have been an accountant, kind of like quote to the stars, literally for 30 years now. And I started on this path of legacy planning. I really got deep into it probably about 5 years ago. And let me just say this, I want to go on the record. I am not an attorney. We are not going to be talking about wills and trusts at all today. I know that's what the announcement says, but we're really going to be talking about everything else that you can do literally today. You don't have to spend a dime. You don't have to hire not one person. What you can do today to protect your legacy and your family's legacy. Anybody here familiar with my Black Women Will events? Anybody ever heard of my Black Women Will? So I know Hope has heard of it because she and I both attend Impact Church. So for 5 years, I have been doing this free estate planning event where we do free wills, healthcare directives, and power of attorneys for Black female homeowners. And so in 4 years now, we have actually helped 486 women prepared to transfer $188 million in assets. We've done that in 4 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the reason why I'm talking about that, I want to tell you the reason how I got started doing that work. Because again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm an accountant. So when I was 12 years old, my grandfather died. And not only did my mother take me to the funeral, I actually went to the lawyer's office with my family at 12 and went to the reading of his will. I was like, what is going on? I just could not believe this man who never graduated from high school had every single thing tied down perfectly together. It was just beautiful. And even at 12, I understood what was going on with my family. So then fast forward, when I was 29 years old, my mother got diagnosed with colon cancer. 4 short months later, she passed away. So now at 29, I was in charge. And I was also very grateful, though, I did not have to make one decision. I did not have to look for one piece of paper. Everything was perfectly put together for me. And it was, to me, like the greatest gift she could have ever given me, because now the only thing I had to do was carry out her wishes. And I didn't have to, I had no pressure. I had no pressure. And I was fully empowered to do my job. But then when I started, like I said, I've been working in radio for 30 years. People call me all the time when somebody has died. People look for me all the time. And of course, it is a crazy hot mess. It is crazy. Just the chaos that families are in, that our families are in, because I know y'all familiar with the craziness, the chaos. It was also interesting to me, a lot of it is the basics. It's not even that, that there's no will. People can't find anything. People can't find the life insurance. They don't know where the important documents are. They don't know who to call. So can anybody relate to that in your families? Like Hope is in the back, like, yep, sounds like my family. And we know, I always say this, in death, all bets are off. In death, all bets are off. You must be able to relate to that situation. But what is your name?
Henry.
Henry. Henry's situation, we all know what that is, whether it's our family or someone else that we're close to. It gets crazy when someone is sick or when someone passes away. When people used to have to behave, they don't have to behave anymore. So they don't. And so everybody now is like kind of finessing, trying to accomplish their particular goal, another nodding of the head over here. So we can't fully eliminate that. But what we can do for sure is we can help decrease what that chaos and craziness is. And a lot of it really has to do with organization. So if you have a will, that's wonderful. Lord knows, I want you to have one. If you have, anybody know what a healthcare directive is? Everyone know? Okay. If you don't have one, please pick the right people who you want to make your health decisions. Because guess what? Y'all know the wrong person is going to step up to want to do the job. We know how that, and we know who it's going to be. The one person that we do not want to have that job is going to step up for sure. We know that. And that's all she says. And it's someone that's really, 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 really close to us too. And everyone here know what a power of attorney is? Everyone, okay. So listen, I think a will is amazing. We need one. I think a healthcare directive is amazing. A power of attorney is powerful because it allows you to act when the person is still alive. I was able to take care of a lot of business with my mom before she passed away because I had the power of attorney. So I was able to do the work before. Because once the person passes away, all that power is gone. All that power is gone. So I put together a list of just a few things that we're going to talk about today. Very simple things. All of what we're going to talk about is in a product that I call the Legacy Life Organizer. And I've just learned a lot about it, just helping people with estate planning, listening to people who are reaching out to me because of the work that I do in media. So a few things that we're going to talk about. Number one, we're going to talk about making a decision about who is in charge. That's number one on the list. Super important. There's several jobs people have, because part of it is, yes, who is your healthcare directive? Who do you want to make medical decisions for you? Or who are the people that you want? Because, you can pick more than one person. That's an important job. Where I see a lot of people get stuck, people particularly who have young kids, is picking the guardian for their children. That's a big deal. I see a lot of couples who are not aligned about that because you always thinking, oh, just, we don't want to assume that we're both going to be passing away at the same time. Is the child going to the people on my side of the family or they're going to the folks on your side of the family? That's a huge decision to make. But clearly you want to make the decision though. You don't want to let someone else make that decision for you. And yes.
And most of us, when we're together,
Right.
don't talk about what we don't like about your family member's race.
Right. Because we don't want to talk about that. No. But it's important because, when we don't make these decisions, who is going to make our health decisions?
Wow.
Who is going to raise our kids? Who is going to be the executor? Y'all know what that term means, the executor, the person who has the job of carrying out your will, your instructions. When we don't pick that, who makes those decisions for us? The courts. And now my mother always taught me, keep them people out of your what? Business. So they're just going to follow the law. It may or may not be the person who you want to be in charge. So it's very important that we make those decisions and we have those very tough conversations. Any questions about deciding who needs to be in charge? Any questions? I also want you to think about it this way. For those of you who have, parents and grandparents and these aunties, they're going to expect you to do what?
Take care.
Step up and take care of them. Y'all need to be having these conversations with them as well. because that's also where the fighting comes from. It's not just about us planning for it when we get sick or pass away, but what about the people in our lives? I'm originally from Rochester, New York, and I was home about a month and a half ago. And since my mom passed away, I always stay with my godmother. And she just kind of casually mentions to me when we were home about me being the executor of her will. And I was like, what? I mean, we've never talked about this. She has 2 adult children. Wait. 3 sisters. I said, now this is going to be crazy. I'm like, I'm like, she is putting me in a very vulnerable position, particularly because she didn't tell me. No, she has not told them. She ain't even told me. And she just casually mentioned this to me when I was home. And I was like, wait. Like, we're going to have to start socializing this because we know what's going to happen because all bets are off in death. All bets are off. So I'm like, you're not going to put me in this vulnerable position. I need people to know in advance because this will allow me to be empowered to do my job. So technically she has a will, she's got all the paperwork, but y'all know her kid, and she's got grown kids. They're going to be like, exactly, like, what's up? And I understand why she picked me. You know, one of her adult kids he's a little crazy. I wouldn't have picked him either. You know, always got to have one. And then when we're talking about that, I want you all to be really empowered to understand the people who you love the most or related to may not be capable of the job.
Right. And that's what I decided, not to give it to someone that was related, someone that didn't even know me or them.
Listen, my best friend will be in charge.
Right.
I don't really care how my family feels about that. Because I know she's the most qualified for the job. Y'all, these are like real jobs.
Right.
So all that whole blood is thicker than water, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. So just be okay with the fact if your sister can't do the job, she can't do the job. If your adult child can't do the job, they cannot do the job. Like these are real jobs. And all these people good under stress or duress too. So that's another thing too. Like you got to be able to work. All right, number 2, important papers. Tell me the truth. How many places do y'all have your important documents?
2.
1, 2, 2, 3. Okay. You raise how many places? How many?
Our DNR would.
Okay. But how many different places do you have your important documents to? Okay. Now the next question is, who knows where your stuff is?
Well, you know me. For me,
Yeah.
for me, I have a trust,
Okay.
and I
But
sent a copy.
where's the copy?
But the lawyer have one, my sister have one,
Very good.
and the other trustee have one. We have 2 trustees, so they both have a copy.
Beautiful. Because what I hear all the time is we know where our stuff is, but no one else knows where it is. Some of y'all can hide stuff like really well too. Like y'all can hide some stuff. I taught a class last year, and I swear I will never forget this. This young woman, she had to be maybe like, I'd say like mid to late 30s. She talked about how she had hidden a lot of her important papers like in the back of picture frames.
Oh my God.
And I was like, who is ever going to find that? Never. Nobody is ever going to find that. So I'm like, it's
They
good.
will when they go to the Goodwill.
So culturally, we come from a culture that we were taught to hide everything.
Yeah.
You better not talk about nothing. You better hide stuff from everybody because we have been taught not to trust anybody. And that literally was a survival mechanism for us. But yeah.
When my mother passed away,
Yeah.
we had to go through every piece of clothing,
You better.
everything. We
Yeah.
got $2,000 in cash
Yeah.
in pockets,
Pockets, yes.
in under everything.
Absolutely.
All her papers, were
Yes.
different places.
Places, yes. And that's very typical for us though. That's very typical. So again, I need you to know where your stuff is, but I need you to at least let one other person know where your stuff is. And then for these people in your families who are going to expect you to step up and step in, can you act on their behalf? Who has time to be looking for stuff under stress or duress? You already stressed. Now you can't find the life insurance or whatever it is. And also think about it too. A lot of us keep stuff digitally now too. All this stuff on your laptop, on your tablet, huh?
Has all passed.
Who got all the password?
For that, but if you have an Apple phone,
Right.
no, seriously, if you have an Apple phone, there's a thing under you. You can go inside and it create like barcode or the first, you know, like it can unlock it for you.
It's called a legacy contact. And we'll talk about that too. The Android has it too. It's not just iPhone. It's harder to do it on an Android. No shade. And the Android, no shade, but it is harder. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So again, what do we have to do? We need to at least let one person know where our important papers are. Have the conversation. Your BFFs, sisters, parents, grandparents. Where are their important papers at? We have to know that. Okay. Number 3, I like to talk about number 3 a lot. Sharing your work information. Anybody here still working? Okay, most of us are still working. A lot of times, y'all, our jobs hold the keys to the kingdom. Our jobs hold the keys to the kingdom. You need to tell at least one person if something happened to you. And again, you don't even have to pass away. You could just be sick. Who at your job should they be contacting? Who is your manager at work? Who do you report to? Who is one of your best friends at work? Because you know that your friend at work will help your family navigate.
That's true. Tell you what,
Yeah.
my husband had brain surgery last year,
Yes.
and he had retired.
Mm-hmm.
And then about a month before that, got back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I figured it was just, something he was doing.
Right.
So I didn't go.
Yeah.
And I literally took him to the hospital and then realized I have no idea
Right.
who to call.
Who to call?
But
Yes.
say he's in the hospital.
He's in the hospital.
And
Yes.
then when the guy finally called me,
Yeah.
Charlie, he had my phone number.
Yes.
He finally called me 2 days later.
Right.
I said, well, yeah, he's in the hospital. I didn't know who to call.
Who didn't call?
I did not.
Right. It's very common.
Also, they asked me questions.
You're right.
Like, I did not know he had an insurance policy there. I did not know.
Work
They
is the
started
keys
asking
to the
me
kingdom.
questions about that.
Work is keys to the kingdom. And so anybody here have adult children? Anybody here with young adult kids? I need you to have this information about your young adult kids. One of my dearest friends here, Michelle, 3 years ago, her 37-year-old son, she lives here in Atlanta, her 37-year-old son in LA had a massive stroke. 37?
Wow.
She knew where he worked, of course, but she didn't know who to call. She didn't know who to call, like the amount of work that it took. So we just take it for granted that these things are simple. So I literally had to text. I have 2 adult sons. One is 31, one is 35. The one who lives here, I know his whole work crew, but my 31-year-old lives in Houston. I'm like, boy, I need to know, who do you report to? Please send me that information so I can, if I have to, I can step in. I mean, he could have the flu. You know what I mean? It don't even have to be brain surgery. He could have the flu and can't get to work. So the other thing too, we have to share, like, do people know what benefits you have? That she said, he had life insurance. Y'all know we have disability policy. We got all the things. Work is a treasure. So you've got to share that information. Super important. Any questions about sharing your work information? Yes.
Not necessarily a question, but just
Yeah.
a comment dealing with someone that's suddenly at my job and is their manager.
Yes.
And the federal government trying to get the death certificate
Oh my God.
from the family,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't the daughter,
Mm-hmm.
which was somebody that was living with her,
Mm-hmm.
was just like a nightmare. Well, we were trying to give them her benefits,
Mm-hmm.
but we could never get like the death certificate and things like that. So making sure they have that type of contact information to be able.
I'm telling y'all, work holds the keys to the kingdom. It really does. So please make sure you do that. Any other questions or comments? Thank you for sharing
I
it.
do.
Yes.
For adult kids,
Yes.
if they're not married, I was reading that if they pass, if they're sick or in a home or whatever, for me, the decision as a parent, you have to have a certain form you have to upload online or something?
Thank you for asking that. That's one thing that I learned. My adult son had an accident back in like 2011, 2012. And it's a crazy story. He was still in college. He was I think about 21, 22. We were at our office. He was supposed to be with his brother loading some boxes on my husband's truck, right? So they didn't want to make multiple trips to the recycle bin. So my oldest son, Trevor, is standing on the back of my husband's son. Okay, truck, right? Gets worse. When my son Cameron pulls off, Trevor flips off the back of David's truck. He breaks the fall with his chin. He fractures his jaw in 2 places. He went back to college with his mouth wired shut for 2 months, lost 4 front teeth, dislocated his shoulder, fractured his eye socket. This is one fall. One fall. We get to the hospital. This is the birth. I'm really good under pressure, but when we got to the hospital, everybody behind the desk stood up. And I was like, okay, this is serious. They brought the bed literally into the waiting room for him. And that, even though I'm his mom, his dad was there, first thing they're asking about is paperwork. So when your children turn 21, you do not have the same rights anymore.
Well, they turn 18.
Yeah, thank you. It's 18. Thank you. You're right. It is 18. So one of the first things I did with my adult kids was make sure they signed that healthcare directive form that all y'all said you had so I could act on behalf of my kids. It is not automatic anymore. So very important that you do that. Very important that you do that.
Where do you get that form from?
Now it's interesting. It's state specific. So make sure if you're going to, you can Google the form
Gotcha.
literally.
Okay.
Please make sure though, you're getting a Georgia healthcare directive form. What they use in South Carolina and North Carolina is different. Now the good thing about that form is that one does not need to be notarized. It does not. That one does not need to be notarized. Not in Georgia. In other states it does, but not in Georgia. The will and the power of attorney must be notarized. The healthcare directive does not. So please get that for your adult kids. All right, last couple things. Can anybody here tell me what a payable on death is? What is a payable on death designation?
It's for your bank account.
Yes.
So if you pass away, if you have that, it's like a beneficiary. The other thing is
It is. Y'all, please do that. Please do that. If I had $1,000 for every time somebody has reached out to me because they cannot access a bank account when someone has passed away. So you do not have to add these people on your account as joint. You ain't got to do that. Because I know a lot of times we're like, they do not need that access. Listen, you see what I'm saying? Look, we out here running undercover because we don't want these people to know, but for good reason. For good reason, sometimes we need to do that. But when you add a payable on death designation, they have no access while you're alive. It is not joint. They have no online access. They cannot go make any withdrawals, but at least when the person passes away, you just literally take the death certificate to the bank and you say, here, show your ID. Now they have access to the funds. So what happens at the bank when you don't do that? What do they do with the accounts? They freeze them. Anybody know about how long it takes to get it unfrozen?
probate.
So I had the shortest amount of time I've seen is probably about 5 to 6 months. That's the shortest I've seen. That's the shortest amount of time. Yeah, literally. It is painful to support families who cannot get access to a bank account. All you got to do is just add that payable on death designation. Now, the other thing I need you to do, though, is I need to know that whomever that person is, that they have a way of knowing that they are your payable on death. Because that's another problem, too.
Right.
My husband and I were both from Rochester, New York. So we were home earlier this year. My mother-in-law, I think, is 82. They needed to go run some errands. She needed to go to the bank. he was like, he called me, he was like, Janai, this is the 4th bank that I'm taking my mom to. They went from one bank to one bank to one bank, which is typical though for us culturally. That's the way. Huh?
Yeah, they feel like I'm not trusting you with all my.
Here we go with the hiding and the trust issue that we have. So she didn't have 4 bank accounts. She had 4 bank accounts at 4 separate banks. And he did not know that. So you need, how do you know where to go to look for the money? How would you know? And he was like, literally, went one bank here, go across the street. But I'm like, Lord have mercy. So you have to socialize these things. I need to make sure you're asking your people, your tribe, the right questions, okay?
So where do you get that gear from? Is that from each bank?
Okay, from each bank. Thank you for asking that question. And each bank handles it differently. Like, for example, Bank of America, you must go in the bank to do that. Now, a person does not need to be with you, though. They don't need to be with you, but please make sure you know their full name and their social security number. They do not have to come with you, though. So certain banks, you can do that online, but some banks still require you to be in person. Yes.
Can you have more than one?
Yes. Yes, you can have more than one. Yeah. So please do that.
Would you also need a death certificate sometimes, certain bank?
You will need a death certificate at the point that the person passes away. So that way you can have immediate access to the fund. Literally, you show that death certificate, take your ID in, boom.
Right.
Money's available to you. Think about that's a game changer. That versus months. And I mean, and the only other way you're going to get it when you go, once the account is frozen, you are going to probate court.
Yeah.
Or you are going to court for sure. I know Fulton County. What county are we in here? This is Fayette County. I know Fulton County right now is running like 3 months behind. So you're not even going to come before them for at least 3 months. Then you talk, you know what I mean? Like the process is crazy to go through there. So we don't have to go through all that. One other thing, this is not on my list, but please make sure once a year that you are checking your life insurance beneficiaries. Once a year. If you're still working, it might be good to do it like during open enrollment, maybe anchor it in something. Do it on your birthday, do it at Christmas time, but once a year. So I'm an Aggie. I went to North Carolina A&T, and one of my classmates called me last year. She had been married, I think about 12 years. This was her husband's 2nd marriage. His first wife had been dead about 8 years before the 2 of them got together. So his first wife, Ben, passed away. He passes away, and guess whose name is on the life insurance? Wife number 1. So then, absolutely. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. So who gets the money in this situation? Her family. So her daughters. What'd you say? No way. Y'all, when I tell you she was so hot, she had been married to this man all of this time, and his first wife had been dead. She had been dead. Been dead.
Not first wife's sister got the money.
So the first wife's children got the money. First wife's children got the money. As she should have. Of course. You cannot petition that.
I was all the praise of my ex-husband for that to change.
Please.
But honestly, because I was in that situation. My first wife passed. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
And I remarried 5 years ago. What she and I've done is we've sat down
Right.
and gone through that entire process
Please.
of ensuring that insurance policies,
Absolutely.
ensuring that any life insurance, bank accounts, all of that has her as well as my son.
Right.
And what we've done is we divvied that out, worked with our lawyer because I have a living trust.
Right.
And with that, we made sure that everything is done in order. Because like you said, even as far as the life insurance policies,
right?
And because like with some of our life insurance policies, the excellent thing about going back and checking those on an annual basis.
Gotcha.
Because I had my my father-in-law from my first wife.
Yes.
I had him as a beneficiary
Yes.
in one of the policies.
Yes.
He died
Mhm.
2 years ago,
Right.
so I had to go back,
Yes.
take him off because if I die,
Then
that
it
they
goes
would
to
go
his-
to
to his estate.
his estate,
Yes.
which is his son,
Yes.
and I wanted that.
Come on. And that's okay.
Uh,
It's ours. Yes.
I would say, and just all this is great. I went into a coma in my 30s,
Yeah.
and all of this stuff was in my head, which means my husband could get into nobody could get into anything.
Yeah.
Talk about because it was a sudden death.
Yeah.
I was here, and then I was in a coma.
Right.
So all of those things from the bank account, and I could have signed the signature on like bank account
Yeah.
things, so it didn't match.
Yeah.
But it was that friend at work
Yeah.
that actually had to take him to my job.
Yeah.
And she
Literally.
said, these are all the things
I'm telling you.
she has.
Yes. And so thank you for sharing the story about your situation because y'all, people just overlook things. It's not intentional. It is so easy to particularly if it's a policy you've had forever. You can forget that you even had certain things. So a lot of it is about when someone passes away, but also I want us to remember things change. So, maybe you were trying to provide for somebody. You were trying to provide for somebody and now you don't need to anymore. Maybe the person you wanted to leave something to one of your children, and based on where they are right now, them getting money could be the worst thing that could ever happen to them. And so we have to tell the truth because everyone's not equipped to receive that. So if you have a loved one who has a drug problem or something, might not be a good idea for them to inherit. So things change. We want to look at those beneficiaries every single year, like clockwork. Please do that. Did I see another hand? Was someone saying something? Okay, yes.
I was saying similar to her situation at work. I had a coworker that passed as well,
Yes.
and we had to do a GoFundMe
Mm-hmm.
to get him buried.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he didn't have insurance. He had insurance. He paid for it, but he didn't have any beneficiary of
Mm-hmm.
being listed as brother. He didn't have any kids. He didn't list his brother and his
Right.
family and his whole one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a GoFundMe to bury him and everything. But then the mom went after the company,
Mm-hmm.
trying to sue to get money, but
Mm-hmm.
she lost because there was nothing there.
Right. Now, unfortunately, I've heard this situation multiple times, particularly for the life insurance that people have at work. So people because you just get it. Your company pays for it. And people don't stop and say, oh, let me list my sibling. Let me pick somebody. So this happens pretty regularly, though. It happens I hate to hear
But
that.
there's been a mandate now for software to require some names.
Right. So that you can then move forward and to select somebody. Right. Because listen, I have my insurance license. Y'all know these folks, they want to do a lot of things, but they do not want to pay. Come on now. They're trying to keep as much money as humanly possible. We are not going to give them that opportunity to do that. Okay. But again, please do it because no matter what, you cannot petition. One more thing. Please do not list any minor children. Please don't do that. Anybody knows what happens as a beneficiary on life insurance. So how old is your child?
He's 4.
4. Can't list him because what's going to happen? So you list him and then what will happen? That money goes where? It's going to go in trust. Now, the thing of it is, if you don't have all that set up, my question is this, you don't have all that set up. Who is going to be the trustee? Who is going to manage that? Huh?
it won't be court.
The court is going to pick somebody. The court is absolutely going to pick somebody.
Because you don't like.
Let me tell you something. And so let me tell you, do y'all know how the court makes the decision about who inherits? So say you don't have a will, because over 76% of people who died don't have a will. I think the number is actually higher than that. Particularly for us, I think it's higher than that. What do y'all think? How does the court decide who inherits?
Whoever show up for court.
Let me get down here quick.
Next living you can.
It is. It's based on relationship. It literally is based on relationships. So that's why it doesn't matter. You could petition all day long. It's based on your heirs. Do you have a spouse? Yes, no. Do you have kids? Yes, no. Do you have parents? Yes, no. Do you have siblings? Yes, no. Literally, there is a rule. The judge is just going to look at what it is and going to divide it up just like that. Done.
How does that work with half siblings or step siblings?
Let me tell you something. Anybody here a blended family? We got some blended families.
Chop it up.
Let me tell you something right now. You all have got to have your stuff together. Blended families are the most complicated issues in death. Blended families are the most complicated. So please make the decision about what it's going to be.
I know I just about, my son,
Yeah.
that's was the situation.
Right.
And he didn't even die. He just went to the hospital. He got so crazy and stupid. Yeah, I decided that the next time I marry, we're straightening all of that situation
Out. Yes. So yeah, blended families, it definitely is going to get a little bit more complicated, a lot more complicated. Are both people's names on the asset? Is one person's name up? Y'all need to just lay it all out, and that will just back everybody off. Now everybody's not going to be happy.
But you did. You don't care.
Yeah. It's yours.
I don't care.
I know. Listen, because it's yours. It's yours. Any questions? Y'all, we've talked about a lot.
So to that last point,
Yes.
in our culture, when
Yeah.
it comes to trustees, executives, powers of attorney,
Yeah.
if you're not next to kin, can you prevent your folks from cutting up? Or how do you deal with that? Like if you're not, you know what I mean? Like if we best friends and she lists me, but her kids like, I know I'm the trustee, and she don't list them. Like just using an example.
I did the exact same thing. But what I did was I made copies and I told them, none of you are going to do this. My oldest nephew is like my child. I thought about him, but then his mamas, his brothers, his cousins, they put too much pressure on him.
Right.
So I chose somebody that I know don't play the radio when it comes to doing the right thing.
Right.
And so they gonna cut up, but she don't care. So you're not gonna stop
So you
them
can't
from
go
acting.
get-
You can't. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight over stuff they don't even want.
Right. So what is that word called? So when there is a will and people don't like it, what's that called? Huh? Contest. Oh yeah. Can people contest? Of course. Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. So, but again, that's a whole different situation. I'd much rather have that than you all not to have your stuff together.
Gotcha.
Because then all bets are off at that point.
For
I
sure.
want to make a point that a lot of times we don't make wills because we think we don't have money in the bank. I know of a family,
Right.
or even valuable or sentimental things need to be used.
Right.
Grandma had an ironing board because she was the washwoman for the neighborhood,
Right.
and they fought over the ironing.
Oh, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
tore the house up.
Yeah.
So
There's
even if
more-
it's not
Yeah.
monetary, like
Yeah.
sentimental things. need to be used.
Yeah. Sentimental things create more issues to me than land and houses and all of that stuff. People literally, they will tear up a house over linens and heirlooms, pictures. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh my God. So, but you literally can be that specific. And some of y'all know in your families, you may need to be. You may need to do. Some of us aren't going to have that issue, but remember, in death, all bets are what? Off.
It's because the person is gone. They're sad. Now, some of them just want stuff.
Oh, for sure.
But then there are others who are just pained by the death of this person.
Right.
And they just want to take everything they have
Right.
to them. And they feel that they were the favorite, so they should have everything.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it's it's our emotions that get the best of us. I seen my grandmother had 12 children when when she died, I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget that hysteria.
Absolutely.
Because I never thought they were things like that.
Right.
They did.
Of course they do. Anybody have any specific questions? Yes, ma'am.
It's not, I hope that I had a,
Yeah.
but what rights in Georgia do domestic partner have?
Do we have a domestic partner law in Georgia?
No.
No.
I'm glad she asked that because
Uh-huh.
my son has a domestic partner, and I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking, I wonder.
Uh-huh.
She gonna be mad.
Something if you've been together for 5 years, you're automatically married.
I'm not worried. Just keep it in mind. Just keep in mind. Keep in mind, everything is state specific. So what your family is doing in Alabama has nothing to do with what the laws and the rules that are here in Georgia. Okay? Super important that you're well aware. It's also important that because y'all have family that live other places. Y'all gonna have to step up and be in charge when something happens. Are you aware of the rules of that particular state? Because those are state specific rules. Now, when you probate in a state, now that is actually county based. That's in the county where the place where the person resided. So that literally is at the county level. But obviously the rules are state level. It's not like Fayette County has a different set of rules than Fulton County. That'd be way too much for us to manage. Any other particular questions? One thing that I do want to highlight, we talked about the legacy contacts. Anybody know about how to set up a legacy contact in your cell phone? Okay, you need to do that. And all that means is you can give somebody access to your cell phone without giving them your password. So it's very easy to do that. So literally if you, now Android, again, no shade, you have to go online to do it. With an iPhone, you can literally do it literally on your phone. So please do that. You definitely want to do that for sure. So real quick, what are your homework assignments? What you got to do homework wise?
Put your documents.
Put your documents in one and tell somebody. Tell somebody.
To get a POD done.
Get your POD on your bank accounts done. Yes.
POD on the I know you said we could list two people or maybe more, but is it kind of like the beneficiary where it's like 50%, 20?
You can decide that. Yeah. What other homework assignment do you have?
Make sure people know where you work and contact.
Please let them know who your friends are at work and who to contact at work. Any other homework assignment? Y'all gotta have one more about the beneficiaries. What do we need to do? Please review them at least once a year. Please make sure the beneficiary knows. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, we know we talk about that here. Yes. Yes, the books are available. Yes.
Always can be contested, right? Of course. But a trust is like your award, your choice. How does that work?
Well, let me just say this. I'm not a lawyer. In the court of law, you can complain about anything. Now, can people change anything? I think the trust is a little bit more airtight than that. It's a little bit more airtight. Yes, ma'am.
I have not seen. Yes, a write-up survivorship better than a will.
Okay. So let me just say this again. I'm not an attorney. And so what happens is we have assets where if we own something and then one person dies first, then it can automatically go to the next person. Now, we just had a law change in Georgia last year. Although it's technically in law, it's just like how you can do a POD on your bank accounts. You can actually do that for real estate in Georgia now. But to me, it seems like they're having a problem rolling that out, though. It's going really, really slow. Florida, certain states have had it forever, and they made it really easy. Because you think about it, y'all, that's where our wealth is for the most of us. We need that real estate to transfer really, really, really well. We need it to transfer well.
It doesn't happen because you married him.
Yeah.
So that can't be happening to a quick thing.
But we're talking about more than likely, we're talking about more of an issue if when someone owns a piece of real estate, they pass away and there is no will.
Okay.
That's where it gets really, really, really tricky there. Just last couple of things, since we're talking about real estate. If you have 4 or 5 kids, should you leave the house to all 4 or 5 of them? Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Why? Why should we not do that? Please tell me. They are going to fight over it. They cannot make a decision If you know your kids are not going to get along, if you know you and your siblings are not going to get along, can you please encourage them? Have one sibling buy out everybody or something. People cannot figure that out. I mean, I have seen people with like 12 or 13 names listed. Why would we do that? We are absolutely going to fight about
I was
it.
giving the advice that they just want the money. Because I was like, what do I do with my painting and my jewelry? They're like, they don't care.
They don't care.
They'll have your painting in a yard sale, and they'll sell, they freeing your jewelry. So they told me just to sell everything and put the money in a trust,
Right.
and distribute it that way,
Right.
even including the real estate.
Listen, do it. So, do y'all know that the largest transfer of wealth in U.S. history is happening right now?
Yes.
Have y'all heard this? Yes, please pass it back. Have y'all heard this? The greatest wealth transfer in U.S. history is happening. Can anybody tell me why it's happening right now? Because who is passing away? Baby boomers. They're the largest and the wealthiest group ever in America. So there's about $84 trillion that is going to transfer by 2045. And so I know y'all are like, please pass these out for me over there. I know y'all are like, my family ain't got that much money. I know about your grandmother or your aunt who got that land in Florida. They got that house up in Macon. Y'all, that is wealth. That is wealth. So we need to be talking to our more mature relatives, please. So we have our stuff together, okay? So what I've been teaching you all through today is through the Legacy Life Organizer, all the other things to help you get your business and affairs in order. You can absolutely order that if you are interested in. If no more questions, I think I'm done today. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you so much.
Do I get to pick the ticket?
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna be the person to.
No, I just want to pick it. I don't want one. Oh, okay. Let me pick.
Just a few housekeeping. So first of all, Janai, thank you.
Oh,
Absolutely.
thank you. Happy to be here.
Wealth of information.
Yes.
Few things. When the women, if you're interested in learning more about preventing cervical cancer, stay in this room. Men's health is in the room across the hallway. Don't forget our health fair around the corner. There are 30 vendors over there waiting to see all of this. And I just want to close out with a little raffle. We have a couple of gift cards to Kroger and Publix. I think. Yeah.
I guess you want to know.
My pleasure. Everybody got your ticket?
I'm gonna see her go to the men's side.
Okay.
Okay. 765-315. My life insurance friend.
Kroger or Publix?
Public.
I'll tell you that person.
All right. Second one, 765-288. 288?
Well, thank you again. Thank you all for your time and. Yes, I just want to catch her before they leave, because I know people be ready to move. So we do want to ask.
KPRATTII Images is a filmmaker creating product videos, promoting brands and services. We also provide multi-camera HD 4K live streaming services to produce your live events to multiple platforms simultaneously with broadcast quality. We will create custom videos to promote and market your event, brand, or service, which will drive engagement on all digital and social media platforms. We create engaging social videos that draw in additional viewers, which allows your brand to stand out on social media. Simple, effective, easy. Let us help grow your business with energized video imagery. Pratt Images is a filmmaker creating product videos, promoting brands and services. We also provide multi-camera HD 4K live streaming services to produce your live events to multiple platforms simultaneously with broadcast quality. We will create custom videos to promote and market your event, brand, or service, which will drive engagement on all digital and social media platforms. We create engaging social videos that draw in additional viewers, which allows your brand to stand out on social media. Simple, effective, easy. Let us help grow your business with energized video imagery.